The enemy is sending in an invasion fleet. They have multiple warships, an aircraft carrier, all commanded by a secret base back here. I have a massive base to build, but I'm going to be using new Air Force vehicles, cruise missiles and Tomahawk missiles, and even an intercontinental ballistic nuclear missile that splits into 7 different warheads to defeat our enemies. Let's see it in action. So first things first, let's start building up our economy here. Now, metal's sort of like the rate-limiting resource in getting more metal. Takes money to make money. So we're gonna get like a bunch of new mines, and then I think after that, we're gonna have to tech up. That being said, let's take a look at this situation. We've got a pretty strong mountain fortress. We do have some cores that are exposed up in these hills. The enemy would have to lob some carefully crafted artillery shells. And then we've got this new soldier that throws in grenades. We've got an anti-aircraft missile platform, a Mantis missile and mortar defense turret, which I cannot wait to show off, and a hornet's nest and an intercontinental ballistic missile silo. So we have a ton of new weapons to show off here. Now, I think the best place to do most of our teching is down here in the bowels of the mountain where the mines are. They call this a mine, huh? Yeah. Some of the other weapon systems that we have available to us are these AH-64 Apaches. And I hear them flying by my house all week long lately. I don't know what's going on, man, but I can only assume it's an alien invasion. I'm just kidding. Am I? Now, we need the upgrade center so that we're going to be able to upgrade, like, all of these mines, and specifically these turbines. We're gonna need lots of energy. Now, I've never fired an ICBM here in Forts before, so I'm not sure what we will need to account for in terms of like allowing for the ballistic missile to fly out of the top here. But a giant nuke. I'm so happy. Ooh, look at this. These are 100% efficient. Well, except for that one. That one's 85. But in forts, a strong ability to project military power is absolutely dependent on a strong economy. Now, I think it makes sense that this is where we're going to want to put our airfield. Ooh, and it fits perfectly. So long as we get the launch angle right and don't nick this piece of ground, our aircraft will be able to take off. I don't think you can have too many mines in forts. Now, as we saw earlier, the enemy has a few naval vessels outside of their fort, including a their aircraft carrier is upgrading their anti-aircraft defenses. And then they have this hidden mountain fortress way in the back. I'm not sure how we're going to be able to destroy that, but I'm thinking it might have to be the nuke. Now, after our mineral economy from our mines, it's turbine time. And this upgrade right here, the factory should allow us to produce pretty much any weapon system we can imagine. So here's the new one, the Mantis. Oh, assault gun, this looks so cool. We could have a second airfield right here. I'm thinking let's put it right here at the front of our base. Now, it's gonna take quite a while to build up. And then before we can put, this looks like a Patriot missile system, don't you think? So let's put it like right behind it. Oh my goodness. We've got anti-air missiles, long-range missile volleys, heavy attack missiles, but then we also have cruise missiles, Satan missiles, and then what are these? Deploys paratroopers? You gotta be kidding me. Eurofighter and a medium bomber. This is crazy. So this is the ammunition. We're gonna have quite a big airfield going on back here. Ooh, this is what I love. These things can build independently. And now what we need is this, the heavy attack missile, and then we can pretty much try everything out. Now, as far as weapons go, oh, look at this. It fits perfectly right here. But we are building the intercontinental ballistic missile launcher straight out of the vertical launch shaft right here. These things are almost complete, and I think the distance between us and the enemy is keeping them from being able to launch artillery at us. So we have the first strike advantage. Do you ever think they're gonna make a Forts 2? I can't help but think it'd be really cool if you could add like basically what the modding community's done with planes and submarines, but like beyond that, like infantry, tanks, helicopters, things of that nature. Sort of like Worm style gameplay. All right, so what's the enemy doing over here? It's gonna be very difficult, I think, to kill them. So we fired some shells, and you can see him flacking it up right there. Beyond that, I don't think we're gonna get there. And I'm very curious what the enemy's doing with this derp little tower at the front of their aircraft carrier. Yeah, that thing's gonna take a while to build, but it's actually pretty close to being done. Based off the upgrade sounds, me and the enemy are in a race Not just an arms race, but an economic race. Now, as far as ammunition, I think it's safe to say that we're going to want to start out with some helicopters as our scouting vehicles. And we could really use some geothermal power in this base because we're going to be entirely reliant on turbines. So this will be our turbine power farm. But this should, what, at least double, if not quadruple, I think, our production? So we don't have any ammunition. Do we have any nukes in here? Cruise missile and the Satan missile. The Satan missile has to be the ballistic. Whoa, pardon me. This thing's carrying 7 nuclear warheads. Okay. The cruise missile, I know, just sounds awesome. And I'm going to want to experiment with that. So we're going to build quite a few of them. Unlike aircraft, we get to build them simultaneously. So as long as our economy can keep up, we're going to be able to build tons of missiles. The enemy's shooting bullets. That's cute. And once this is done, we just need to make sure we can supply and store that much power. This is new. We can get a radar installation here. That might help us track incoming missiles and things. So let's build a radar tower right here. It's considered a weapon. I wonder if it might help us target the enemy's base. Speaking of that, we're gonna need to do that. Otherwise, we won't be able to fire our missiles. Now remember, there's these little swarmer missiles that can be upgraded into what they call an ICBM, but that's not nearly as big as this. All right, so let's try to fire a volley of low... Oh, that's so cool. Now, would it radar lock if an enemy player was flying a plane? That thing goes really far. I bet if we built one high enough up, we could hit the enemy. Hold on. Uh-oh. In typical fashion, the enemy is targeting our power centers. And we don't have any defensive weaponry built yet. I heard the missiles, but oh, they're still flying. Okay, so funnily enough, we actually have enough time to get some flak guns. Beyond that, I'm curious if this could take them out. All right, our shots weren't the best. There we go. I actually shot those down myself using this brand new anti-aircraft turret, which is pretty impressive. Now, it can't be AI controlled, and we're out of missiles for our weapon defense. So, do we have any Apaches yet? Okay, so we've got the little birds. The little birds are we're going to scout out first. We need to ascertain just how well defended the enemies are. And I think we should probably produce a Satan missile, which, okay, that is huge. Look at this thing. Can I produce 2 at once? No, they have to queue up, but they'll do a pretty good job. I don't know where we could launch that from, though. Well, it's forts. We can just build what we need. Now, just in case there's, like, fire that shoots out from this, we'll turn this into metal, so hopefully it won't catch on fire. And we've got another airfield right here. But I think the cruise missiles... I'm trying to figure out what they fire from. Yeah, so now we're turning swarm missiles into the warhead. Oh, hot dang. He's firing. Oh, look at how good that is. Their swarm missiles will not get past even this turret, dare I say it. All right, so we're going to turn this into an upgraded artillery rocket system. Oh, there we go. We're getting some of our, I think it was the Atlas. Deploys paratroopers. I really want to try that out. We'll get 2 Eurofighters, and then we'll get some medium bombers, which, do those look like Harriers to you, or sort of? The enemy's shooting more missiles. Needless to say, we're at a technological advantage. But they do have a lot of anti-aircraft. Look at these. This thing is a bristling porcupine, plus they have that. We've got some pretty interesting terrain we will be able to use as cover to get closer with our helicopters. As long as there's no friendly fire incidents. Oh, look at the flak shells bouncing off the ground and busting up to hit the missiles. Uh-oh. Oh, that was really close. All right, we might want a little machine gun right here. This is going to be the only machine gun I do as a very last minute to protect this weapon system. Look as it's cooling down. I think it used up one of our missiles. Oh, gosh. Okay, we're just firing them. Oh, but we're firing them with an arc. Oh, that's cool. Wow. Okay, yeah, the enemy's got quite a bit of cover here. But I think if we do this right, those were the long-range volleys, but not the heavy attack. Can he be upgraded again? All right, we just switched him to cruise missile. Now, I assume... Oh, wait, is it following my cursor? No, not entirely. Oh, we got crazy lag, but... It... Oh! That was awesome. That was the coolest thing I've seen in Forts in a long time. I had no idea how it worked. We're gonna need multiple firing platforms for this, and we need to be very, very careful. We'll upgrade the airfield there to use the same circle, maybe just a tad bit higher, because it basically destroyed the front half of this gunboat. And it may have actually been shot down, which is what caused it to explode the way it did. I'm not entirely sure. Or hit the water. It's all speculation at this point. All right, he's on cruise missile, and this is where we fired last time. So I'm thinking if we do like what's effectively one notch up. Uh-oh. All right, watch the cruise missile. Now, we started getting really bad frames. Oh. Okay, yeah, he detonated due to anti-aircraft fire. All right, so I think what we're gonna want to do is get a few more of these cruise missiles, start queuing them up, and we're gonna use our Air Force. Heavy attack missile, long range volley. Can you just imagine if like anything got in here and blew it up? We'd be completely screwed. Now, I want to try the paratroopers, but I worry that it won't work. So one of the things we can do though, Little Bird. Alright, so I'm expecting a ton of anti-aircraft fire. I've got a minigun and some Hydra rockets. So that's the minigun. And those are the Hydras. The controls are going to be a little weird. I love the little, like, air effect on the dust. Like, kicking up dust from the ground. But we're basically flying in commando right now. And I wish I could have, like, a two-panel screen. A screen of, like, a little bit further what's ahead of me. That I could zoom in if I wanted to, as well as my helicopter controls. We're still pretty far, but, like, anti-aircraft fire is coming in. Oh, shoot! Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah. Controlling this thing with WASD is what I would call a nightmare. But that being said, it's a manageable nightmare. There's a lot of, like, oversteer. Oh, gosh. Flak's coming in. We just lost a little bit of our health. Okay, how far are they? Can we hit them from here with Hydras? All right, we fired the Hydras. And they're just going to kind of keep going straight, aren't they? Okay. Well, that lured them in. Oh, biscuits. We had a training accident happen on our our little bird, not our Black Hawk. Okay, well, luckily for me, it's gonna take literally forever to get another one out here. Weapon Atlas, Weapon Eurofighter, or Weapon Medium Bomber. I'm gonna try our Apache, and I'm hoping. Okay, so it has Hellfire missiles, which can be aimed. The problem is Flak is just so good in this game against these weapon systems. So instead of, no, I still want to go hull down when I can. It's a tank term, but I'm going to use it. Basically, I'm going to fire, I'm going to peek up from behind this hill and fire a missile. And that's what I'm going to hope is going to work. Missiles coming in. Oh, wait, that means I've got friendly Flak is about to fire, and I might die to that. Oh my gosh, they almost hit us with a laser. In fact, they did. It took us down to half health, and then some Flak came in. All right. Firing some Hydras. I'm waiting to see the ship. There it is. Missile away. Missile away. It's gonna hit. Yes. Uh-oh. All right, we got the missile to hit. We did some damage to the ship. It is on fire, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I think we need something a little bit faster. We need planes. Now, one of the other things we could do, our cruise missile was pretty great, right? I'm gonna fire another one, and I really hope. Oh, wait a minute. Is it just targeting the front of that base? It might be. Is the cruise missile auto-detected? All right, should we try the Atlas? The answer is yes. Supply drop. Okay. And we're gonna try to drop paratroopers on the enemy ship. Now, we're gonna start like dolphin diving here to both gain speed and make us a more difficult target, at least in theory. Paratroopers out. Oh gosh, the paratroopers are getting wrecked. Here, have a supply crate. I wish that was a bomb. All right, I don't think any of the paratroopers made it. They all got shot down. Yeah, you see this circle? That's, I think, where the cruise missile's trying to hit. Frames, I think it hit. Yes! Okay, that wasn't an editing issue. That was the game's issue. Like, in one of the past videos, our editing was a little off and you didn't get to see the planes. But this time, we just went to like sub 10 frames per second and it froze the game when we weren't looking at the target. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see it. I'm gonna target another Atlas. So what do those guys do? Guess we need to do a little bit of weapons testing. I dropped paratroopers, but did they do anything? All right, so here we are in pretty much maxed out zoom mode. There she is, our beautiful paratrooper plane. Look at that base with all those radars in the back. All right, how close are we getting? Oh gosh. Huh. Yeah, none of the paratroopers make it. I don't think it's safe to commit their lives to this cause anymore. Casualties have been 100%. But we do have a Eurofighter, which is one of the new weapon systems. We've got a Vulcan and an AMRAAM. Is AMRAAM not an air-to-air missile? So I guess if the enemy was sending out planes themselves... There's the laser again. I fired the AMRAAM. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think it like targets aircraft. Uh-oh. You know what? We were down to 2 health. I made the executive decision to drive our conveniently drone-operated aircraft there into the base. So, fighter jet sporting homing anti-aircraft missiles. So, I think what we're going to want to use is the medium bomber instead. And we might like it. So, we'll queue up a few extra. You go ahead and fire your cruise missile again. And I'm going to zoom in as fast as I can and hope that we catch this. I hope we get a hit, but look at that anti-aircraft guns firing. Yeah, our frames were already down, and the thing basically hugs the terrain, which I think is what Tomahawks use in real life. They'll fly really, really low and hit their targets. So if we could take out the anti-aircraft right here, we could fire a cruise missile, and it would likely make impact at the target. So let's queue up a few of them. And let's go on some medium bomber runs. We've got 2 ready and 2 on the way. There's their flak. Like, look at how good my flak is. I mean, look at, we're firing a lot. We're not hitting a lot, but at least we're shooting a lot. Yeah, there we go. Haha. Fantastic. There's no other game like this, you know? All right, here's the medium bomber, and we've got guided bomb, mouse aimed, exclamation mark. Ooh, and we've got carpet bomb. So if I'm aimed really far out, I fired the little aimed bomb. Okay. But I think I'm gonna need to be closer. I'm starting the carpet bombing now. I don't have anything to do right now. Somehow we made it all through there without getting shot. Oh gosh, we're about to die. All right, it's mouse guided. Yeah, that was a good hit. We took out the superstructure of their carrier, and it must have a core in it because it's floating, and it's still the correct color. So right now we've got our special ability, which basically allow us to quickly build ammunition. Wait, something just went nuclear. It was the other core, but it detonated in the bowels of the ship. This is like hitting the Death Star's ventilation shaft. Oh my gosh, the ship. Oh, if we could have followed that up with something, we could have broken the ship in half. You know what? We can follow this up with something. Another medium bomber. So let's do that. I think the medium bomber, I'm no expert, but it's got an American insignia on it. But for some reason, it reminds me of like a Russian bomber. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna get, it's jet powered though. So what we're gonna do is do some carpet bomb. No, I'm gonna save the carpet bombing. I want to hit that carrier. It's a bigger target. We just dropped a little bit too early. Oh gosh, that's bad. That's bad. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah. We dropped way too early, and we hit the superstructure, but like, look at what they have to defend the thing. And they're already rebuilding it. How are we doing back here? Are we holding the line? We are. All right, let's try this again. Medium bomber, guided bomb is mouse aimed, but it's just a bomb, right? Meaning that there's limitations onto just how well you can guide this thing in. All right, carpet bombs away, and all the shots. Oh, that was good. That was a good hit. Now, the best thing we can hope for is a good hit with this thing. Oh, they shot us down. Yeah, we hit a few of these pieces. If this was multiplayer, I could have someone firing cruise missiles while I was flying planes or vice versa, and that would be really cool. Okay, the cruise missile just blew up in air, and I think it was because I took command of this thing? I don't know. I think the developers of this game need to reach out to the mod creators who built this and make a free-to-get expansion pack. Oh, we missed. Guided bomb. We hit the the rear of the ship. Somehow we're still alive. Oh, I got him to flak his own ship. All right, so carpet bomb is going to be available in a few seconds. So is mouse guided bombing. Let's hope we can get some hits here. What if I did it from here? That should work. Oh, it was so close. Oh, man. Yeah, we're almost dead. So let's detonate on that ship. Okay, cruise missiles out. And you can see where it's trying to target. Basically the first most thing it sees. And then the frames absolutely go poop. That hit. What? It detonated here. The last time we saw a chain reaction of explosions. Well, we could use my beloved F-117s. We also have the B-52, but I want to use the new stuff. Heavy attack missile penetrates and deals huge damage on impact. How do I fire that? Click to set missile target. I choose you, Pikachu. I want you to get hit. Not Pikachu, but... Oh, wait. Where's it going? Oh, it made it pretty far. Should we try the missile, the Satan missile system? Oh, wow. Okay, we're using a satellite now. All right, the target's painted now. Here's our ICBM about to launch. Oh, gosh. Oh, no way. It's going to come from above. All right, so we targeted the carrier, right? Near the front, I believe. I was so excited, I've already forgotten. I think it's going to come from above, and I don't think they're going to be ready for it. Oh, they're shooting up. They detonated it. Whoa! Okay, it had 7 nuclear heads, right? Some of them absolutely got shredded. How do we soften these targets? I think we need some more of these. And then from here, you can switch it from the clusters, maybe? Yeah, because we have multiples right here. We have 5 of those. That's what I'm about to fire. How quickly can I fire again? Yeah, it should be a salvo of these things. Can I fire this? I can. Okay, good. So while that's going on, we're going to use these as decoys. They're getting shot down. Uh-oh. We have a fire back at the base. Oh, okay. The ballistic missile actually... Oh! We made a hit on the first ship, dang it. The thing was firing. Now, luckily, we have another gunboat and a carrier and another gunboat to try the nuke out on. So we'll see it in action. But I could not lose this. Oh, gosh. Actually, hold on. I am losing it. Wait a minute. What's going on? Okay, everything's blowing up. Oh, my gosh. That was catastrophically bad. Look at... Oh! Our... Oh! Okay, cool. That was really, really fun. I'm so glad that that happened. Well, that's problematic. Luckily, we have a huge reserve of energy. Self-inflicted damage. Okay, our radar's firing. We got plenty of ballistics. I'm gonna fire these a little bit lower. And while that's going on, we are gonna fire another nuke. And yes, we insist on watching it this time. All right, so we're gonna stay in the theater here, even if something's burning back home. Now remember, it's gonna fire 7 different nuclear warheads. Oh, you know what? I think the heavy missile fires out of the vertical silo. All right, I'm not seeing anything coming in yet. Oh, they're there. They're there. Oh, gosh. Oh! That was glorious. I need multiple nuke silos. Yeah, okay, so he's ready to fire again. Let's have him go. All right, we're gonna hit the top of this thing. Yeah, it caught it all on fire, but we caught it this time. I'm being greedy. All right, we got 3 more queued up. Let's go watch the ship. We're trying to hit the rear. Look for the cluster of missiles. Okay, it just detonated. It's dropping them. Oh, and 1 made a hit. Of the 7, only 1 made a direct hit, but it immediately destroyed their reactor. And the rest of the ship is sailing straight down to Davy Jones. Oh, that was glorious. Now the enemy has lost 2 of their anti-aircraft destroyers, or frigates, or gunboats, whatever they are. It doesn't matter. They're dead. Guess we can use this to quickly queue up ammunition building. 300% build to device and weapons. Oh, I don't think ammunition counts as that. We need someone that's like, we will boost your ammunition. All right, let's hit the carrier with a nuke. I want to hit the back of it. I think it's going to be hard for them to detonate, like to shoot the thing and get all of the little warheads. And since it's bigger, I'm hoping more than 1 of the 7 makes impact. Now, listen carefully. There's a detonation sound that'll happen. There it is. All of them got shot down. That's just impressive and depressing at the same time. Somehow I need to fit this guy in here. There we go. He might be able to help repair this because, like, look at this. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's... We almost lost it. We do have the F-117s. Let's try a strike. This is my favorite aircraft. I think it's... I've had the most success with it. I like the paveway style bombing, and it's difficult for the enemy to hit me. We're not true stealth, but, like, we're not half bad. So what we need to do is aim for their anti-aircraft defenses. Paveway out. Got a hit. And another paveway. And, like, look at how much fire is on that ship. We want to do enough damage. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think with all that chaos going on, we could probably target another nuke. Oh, wow. Okay. The complete rear of the ship that has a lot of their supplies and a few anti-aircraft guns. I think their biggest anti-aircraft gun, it might be in here. Wait, that's a nuclear reactor. Oh, yeah. They've only got 2 machine guns. Now, this thing can defend, and oh, yeah, it's still got that. That's what we need to take out with an F-117 to pave the way for our nuclear ballistic missile with a multiple warhead. I think, oh, there's one. One hit. One hit the forward section of the ship. You can tell because it's blown up. And it sank the entire ship. Oh my gosh, that is glorious. All right, you're up next, big boy. If we can hit a paveway right here, we can take this thing out with a nuke. I fired, I don't think, it's not a cruise missile, right? It's a multi-rocket launch. And while that's going on, look at this. This is so cool. All right, let's fly under it. If there's another one coming, there is. Look at how cool that is. No freaking way. So all available anti-aircraft is going to be distracted by those rockets, which are decently close. And we're going to zoom in, and we're going to try to paveway the anti-aircraft battery on this gunboat. Oop. We launched a little bit shallow. Oop. What you guys pointed out in the last video was that the F-117 makes it difficult. Oh, we did not hit the anti-aircraft battery for the flak guns to detonate close to us. All right, we've got another paveway, and I need to drop it and hit that forward gun battery. Otherwise, nukes aren't going to be nearly as effective. Okay, we got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. I mean, that thing's on fire, and it just sank. Absolutely. It fell off the ship. So with that being done, you know what time it is. We go all the way back here, and we queue up the nuke. Actually, I've got it number keyed, so that was an amateur mistake right there. And we'll get a bunch of F-117s just in case we need them. Okay, let's head back to the ship. They're going to have to rebuild it, which they're already trying to rebuild the platform. If this thing even gets hit by one nuke, or even, I think, if you could get a submersibly detonated one. Which, by the way, there's, like, submarines in this game, right? What if you could have one that's sort of like a Kai-10, the Japanese, like, kamikaze submarine from World War II? But instead of just conventional explosives, it was a nuke. That would be sweet. Wow, look at those anti-aircraft. All right, they're firing. One made it. One made it and detonated. Somehow, that core still is standing, and there's no fires at all. Only one of the 7 reactors hit, and nukes, there's secondary nuclear explosions going on. All right, I'm gonna hit this with a nuke. It's so far back, but like, look at how much anti-aircraft defense they have. Do they have a missile? Ooh, I think this next one, I'm hoping one of the warheads hits. And it looks like we have 4 reactors here. There they are. One detonated. One detonated right here, took out some of that. Some of the other ones went over here. So I aimed it here. It spread and covered this entire area, taking out their last ship. And look at it just sliding down and getting destroyed as it hugs this rock ledge. That is so fantastic. All right, so what I'm talking about is like worm style, like unit control. Imagine you had a scuba diver and there was like a little secret tunnel. You get up in here, you take out some guys in small arms, close quarters combat. Oh gosh, we lost our thing again. Gosh, just in time to, you know, save it. I think that's what Forts 2 should be, if they ever make it. All right, I just don't think we can like put turbines up here anymore. Our rate of production is relatively minimal, but there's enough time in between. All right, we're gonna pave the way. I think we need a different style map for Tomahawk missiles to be effective against the enemy. But right now, it's only that base in the back. So let's fly low right across the water. We could have a modified F-117 that could carry like a little mini Navy SEAL sub. We drop it, boop. Surprise! Oh yeah, that'll work. They're trying to rebuild their anti-aircraft defense. All right, let's hit this thing with a nuke. I guess I could probably... Could I fit another nuke like right here? Oh gosh. Yeah, please repair that quickly. I think this might do it. This isn't a very strong base. They do have machine guns. They have a laser in the top of that tower. They have a lot of stuff going on down here. It's shooting. Yes! One hit, but it hit pretty high up, and surprisingly didn't even take out that laser. I feel like someone should make like... The Satan missile has 7 warheads. I want one with like 20. All right, we'll fire some more rockets and hopefully do some damage. Okay, yeah, they're just... They made it through. If I could aim this properly, I could get some hits. Oh gosh, something's on fire. But I know the nukes is gonna rain down from above real soon. Oh, there they are. They didn't even shoot that time. 4 of them made impact. They lost control of the right side of the base. They're gonna slowly rebuild there. And we need to hit this section now. I don't know where the enemy base, the last core is. Can we see it through here? It might be deep down. All right, we've got another one going. It just fired. Everything is on fire. We have access to those again. I'm gonna switch this to, all right, if that's where we fired the last one, let's fire this one here. And the reactor, the nukes went off. They're not as strong, but man, do they cover a pretty extensive area. I think I fired a cruise missile. No, I need to switch it, but I'm having issue doing like manual selection on this thing. So let's watch this artillery battery with a paveway attack and try to take out those anti-aircraft batteries again. I hear them building. Still can't see their base. Okay, they've got the 1 anti-aircraft battery in the front. Probably a bunch of machine guns. A little late. Oh, and they're almost reconnected. Oh, that was a miss. And these things don't create fire or anything? All right, we got to zoom in to see what's going on here. All right, we got 1 paveway loaded up. We've got to hit that. Yes, we hit it. We took it out. Mission accomplished. All right, so we got a missile firing and then the ICBM. It'd be really cool if you could make an ICBM. Oh, yes. Oh, there it is. There's the reactor. I think what we need is B-52s to finish the job. Oh, we're running out of money. Why are you firing so high? Oh, it's arching down right as this guy split. All right, we've got a B-52 on the way, and the core is exposed. But none of them are built yet. We're about 2/3 of the way there. All right, here we go. We're switching back to the Tomahawks. And where are you going, bud? Huh. Well, thank you for not making it very obvious what you're doing here. But our first B-52 is done. Man, they're really building this thing up to endure pain. I'm gonna have to hit it with another while we get the B-52 ready. I had to upgrade an airfield. Oh man, look, they even lost access to these mines over here. We released the Balrog. That's just so much interlaced metal. I'm sure this is like 2 or 3 levels deep. Wow. That's what's seeing a nuke. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's nuclear, or excuse me, metal all the way there. Are you upgrading faster? I don't think they are. All right, I want to hit a cruise missile here. Oh wait, is that how it's done? Because if that's how it's done, cruise missiles are gonna be the best. Please tell me, oh, it's gonna, don't hit the ground. Oh, they don't have anything standing up. That would have been really good. Okay, now I know how cruise missiles used, now that their base is basically flush with the ground. All right, we have a nuke on the way. One more, soften it up. Get the B-52 in. Oh gosh. That was it. That was a direct hit. Who needs the B-52 when you have ICBMs? Let us know what map we should make next in Forts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.